Welcome to the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, NIPER. By an act of the Indian Parliament, NIPER attained the distinction of an Institute of National Importance in 1998 and was dedicated to the nation in the year 2000. Set up in a sprawling 137 acres of land at Sahibzada Ajit Singh Nagar in Punjab, it houses state-of-the-art facilities that match well with any international facility. NIPER not only has the distinction of being the first national-level institute in pharmaceutical sciences, but also a premier institute that constantly strives towards strengthening the pharmaceutical industry in the country. It is committed to produce well-trained and qualified research scientists, managers and teachers for the pharmaceutical industry, research institutions, regulatory bodies and educational organizations. The 10 arms of NIPER, namely the Departments of Biotechnology, Medicinal Chemistry, Natural Products, Pharmaceutical Analysis, Pharmaceutical Management, Pharmaceutical Technology, Pharmaceutics, Pharmacoinformatics, Pharmacology and Toxicology, and Pharmacy Practice aid it in achieving its objective of toning up the level of pharmaceutical education and research. These departments are supported by some of the finest facilities, such as the Central Instrumental Laboratory, Center for the Pharmaceutical Nanotechnology, National Toxicology Center, National Bioavailability Center, Technology Development Center, Impurity Profiling and Stability Testing Laboratory, Central Animal Facility, National Center for Safety Pharmacology, National Center for Pharmacoinformatics, the Library and Information Center, as well as the Computer Center. These world-class facilities are optimally utilized by research scholars selected through a stringent screening who work under the guidance of a very distinguished faculty, many of them being recipients of prestigious awards at the national and international levels. The world-class setup at NIPER helps the learners to use the technologies effectively when they graduate from NIPER. Studies at NIPER lead to the postgraduate and doctoral degrees. It also offers opportunities for postdoctoral research. Besides this, it undertakes collaborative research at the national and international levels. NIPER's areas of activity span from drug discovery to approval and marketing of drugs. It is also involved in the preclinical development, formulation development, and bioequivalence testing of generics. To meet these ends, it is ably assisted by the concerned departments. To harness the rich biodiversity in the country, NIPER's Department of Natural Products is dedicated to discovering and identifying bioactive molecules from plants that have diverse biological activities, with its focus on the lifestyle diseases. Another important activity undertaken is the rationalization of traditional medicines. NIPER also has a herbal garden where plants are grown for referral purposes. It houses 140 species of medicinal plants. One of its most important possessions is a pair of trees planted by the royal couple of Britain, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall. For faster discovery and development of drugs, the National Center for Pharmacoinformatics at NIPER conducts high-end research on potential drug targets and molecules. This becomes possible through the convergence of disciplines like molecular biology, medicinal chemistry, toxicology, pharmaceutical sciences, and computational technologies. With the changing needs of the drug discovery industry, computer-aided drug design has become more of a necessity than a trend. This center trains the scientists of tomorrow in translating diverse information into useful knowledge by exploiting the advantages of emerging fields like bioinformatics, chemoinformatics, toxicoinformatics, and pharmacy informatics. The National Center for Pharmacoinformatics gels with the Department of Medicinal Chemistry, which is engaged in several areas of basic and applied researches like identification and validation of novel target sites for various therapeutic areas. The candidate drugs synthesized need to be screened for their potential to become a drug molecule. The Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology fits just in place in this chain. The young researchers and scientists are engaged in pharmacological research areas such as diabetes and its complications, hypertension, opioid tolerance and dependence, stroke, malaria, tuberculosis, leishmaniasis, and toxicant-induced cell death. The National Toxicology Center at NIPER is another feather in its cap that follows the good laboratory practices. Inaugurated in December 2005, the center has handled several assignments of specialized nature in order to test for the safety of drugs to be used in living systems. The facilities at this center match any international standard. The Department of Pharmaceutical Analysis and the Impurity Profiling and Stability Testing Laboratory work closely with the pharmaceutical industry to meet the stringent international regulatory requirements on stability testing and impurity profiling of pharmaceuticals. Its contribution towards drafting drug stability guidelines, issued as a technical monograph by the Indian Drug Manufacturer Association, is a testimony of the acceptability of the work by the industry. Keeping pace with the current scientific trends, the NIPER's Department of Pharmaceutics has initiated research on biomaterials and nanotechnology. In an effort to fight cancer, the department is working on the development of polyanhydride-based carriers for localized delivery of anti-cancer agents in 2 parts. Other diseases that it is focusing on are hypertension, diabetic complications, autoimmune disorders, and organ transplantation. It is also working on formulations for hormone therapy for osteoporosis. NIPER's standing in the international arena is reflected in the fact that its National Bioavailability Center is one of the only 2 facilities in the world to be accredited by the WHO to conduct bioequivalent studies on the fixed-dose combinations of anti-tubercular drugs. Likewise, the NIPER's Department of Biotechnology is working towards understanding the mechanism of the diseases like insulin-resistant diabetes, leishmanial, or the pathogen responsible for Kala-Azar and microbial drugs resistance. These are critical in developing novel screening models and drug target for new drug discoveries. The researchers at the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology apply the advanced knowledge in biotechnology at an industrial scale to maneuver the economy towards self-sustenance. The department prepares pharmaceutical scientists who assist the pharmaceutical industry, which is adapting to the new mindset based on the principle of green chemistry. The bulk drug section of the department aims at developing new drugs and processes through scale-up techniques. The major thrust area is the drug development against parasitic diseases. Among other drugs, major emphasis is placed on the synthesis and development of anti-tuberculosis, anti-malarial, and drugs for leishmaniasis. The Technology Development Center is involved in the development of economically viable processes for bulk pharmaceuticals and chemicals of synthetic and natural products origin. This center has an immense potential to support the growth and development of small and medium enterprises in the pharmaceutical sector in the country. Realizing the need in the manpower gap, the Department of Pharmaceutical Management was established with the aim to provide specialized and trained managers of the highest level for professional positions in pharmaceutical business and industry. It trains the students in the field of pharmaceutical management, thus equipping them to be assets to the industry. As they step into the workplace, they bring with them fresh ideas and energy to push forward the businesses of the pharmaceutical industry. NIPER's Department of Pharmacy Practice works in synergy with medical practitioners at the collaborating hospitals like PGI, Chandigarh, and Fortis Heart and Multispeciality Hospital, Mohali. This linkage provides valuable inputs to the clinicians for the optimization of drug therapy of the patients. In fact, the Medicine Information Center at NIPER provides a central and unbiased source of current information and specific responses about medicine-based therapy to the healthcare providers.
The major area of research between the two institutes was on diabetes, and where we worked on patients with newly detected type 2 diabetes, where we worked on a free radical load in these patients and their treatment outcome with the medical management of type 2 diabetes.
Having known these, it is least surprising that NIPER has a 100% placement record.
We have interdisciplinary nature of curriculum. On the top, we have most sophisticated instruments on which students are provided hands-on training. This makes our students sought after not only by industry but also by research institutions across the world. I am really proud to say that we have consistently 100% placement record from the time the first batch graduated from this institute.
The life at NIPER demands a 24/7 kind of commitment, and one can see a research scholar pacing down the serene path of the campus even at midnight in order to get back to one's experiment. The academic environment at NIPER, though rigorous, is far from solemn. Thus, if a research scholar could be found engrossed in the books and journals in the well-stocked library, there may be others rejoicing in the cafeteria. The institute has a world-class convention center, complete with an auditorium and seminar halls that host convocations, meetings, and conferences. Movie shows are organized on weekends. With some of the finest equipment that money can buy, NIPER strives to serve the pharmaceutical sector, especially the small and medium enterprises of the country, which endeavor to output the best quality medicines, but face budgetary constraints. In 2007, the government decided to establish 6 new NIPERs at Ahmedabad, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Hajipur, Kolkata, and Raebareli. NIPER's expansion from a single location to 6 more NIPERs across the length and breadth of the country speaks volumes about its credibility and the demand it has carved out for itself in a short span of time. It is remarkable that in a short period of time, over 87 patent applications have been filed based upon the research activities of NIPER. NIPER understands the need of the hour while gearing itself towards meeting its futuristic vision.
National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, NIPER, is a pioneer institute and is declared as Institute of National Importance. It is having the state-of-art facilities and highly trained faculty who are teaching and molding the careers of the budding pharmacists. The development of NIPER SAS Nagar has closely emulated the rapid progress of the pharmaceutical industry within the country. The institute is collaborating with several educational research institutes and universities of the country and also at international levels. Institute is also going to start several new courses in the area of clinical research training, drug metabolism and pharmacokinetics, pharmacoeconomics, pharmacoepidemiology, and pharmaceutical research and development management because of unrelenting demands of the pharmaceutical industry and pharma regulatory authorities. The excellent curriculum design and innovative pedagogy has enabled NIPER to differentiate itself from other programs. Our endeavor is to ensure that at NIPER all the students will get an all-round personality development.